So we have, okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the State Ethics Commission. Today is October the 16th, and the time is 9 o'clock, and we welcome everybody. A couple of administrative announcements. Turn off your cell phones, and if you want to be recognized, please raise your hand so we know that you want to be heard, and I'll call upon you. First order of business is a roll calls for form's sake, and if you are alone, please indicate as such.
Okay, noting the presence of Chair Fong, Commissioner Becker, and myself in the conference room with Miles Yamamoto. Turning to the commissioners, Vice Chair Tobias, are you present?
Here.
Along?
Here.
Commissioner, oh, thank you. Commissioner Thielen?
Here and alone.
Okay, turning to staff, Patrick?
I'm here, and then Caroline is with me. She's shadowing on how to run a commission meeting.
Great. Bonita?
Here and alone.
Nancy?
Present and alone.
Jennifer?
Here and alone.
Jody?
Present and alone.
And Barbara?
Present and alone.
Okay, thank you very much. I see we have one person from the audience, and I guess for the sake of my role, I have to read this. For any members of the public who may be joining us remotely, if the commission's video conference connection is lost during the meeting, we will recess the meeting and reconvene after our connection is restored. Please check the commission's website, www.ethics.hawaii.gov, for information about reconnecting to the meeting. If the meeting is continued to a later date or terminated, information about this will be posted on our website. I notice we do have somebody joining us outside of the commission. Would she like to identify herself?
That is Candace Park, our Deputy Attorney General. So, sure. I will also note, basically, we are going to have a fire drill that is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. For sunshine purposes, if we cannot resume the meeting within 30 minutes, we will resume the meeting exactly 1 hour after the fire drill begins. We do intend to complete the sunshine portion of the meeting by 10 a.m. So hopefully we can do that.
Great. Hopefully we'll be through before 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Okay. First order of business, we're so happy to welcome a new member of our commission. We call it full house, full complement. And Key, want to introduce our new commissioner?
So we want to congratulate Commissioner Becker, our most recent appointment to the commission. We're very excited to work with you. I note that he has a wealth of experience. He's currently the State Department of Budget and Finance's Fiscal Administrative Division Administrator. And he also previously served as State Comptroller, State Deputy Director of Finance, and as staff at the Senate Ways and Means Committee. So we're so happy that you're on board, and we're very excited to work with you.
And on behalf of the commission, we welcome you, and my fellow commissioners are happy that we now have a full staff, so we can go on with business without worrying about a quorum, hopefully. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you for that very nice introduction. People ask why I applied, and I just applied because I want to help. And I believe in the mission here. So I look forward to working with all of you to restore and keep the public's trust.
Good. Any questions from the commissioners? Don't ask him about his love life.
Welcome to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next order of business, approval of the minutes of September 18th. Any corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 18th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Tobias and seconded by Commissioner Thielen. Any discussion? Not. We need roll call. Roll call.
Yep. Vice Chair Tobias.
Aye.
Commissioner Thielen.
Aye.
Commissioner Becker.
Yes.
And Chair.
Aye. No opposition, motion's carried. I believe, I don't think Commissioner Becker can, because he wasn't
Yeah.
present at the last, well, he wasn't present, period.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, minutes have been approved. Director's report, education. Is that Benita?
Yes.
Yes, good morning, commissioners. I'm gonna just share my screen and refer to the materials in your meeting folder. On PDF page 19, you'll see information regarding our trading summary for the quarterly report. The first set is regarding the agencies. We have jurisdiction over 57,000 approximately employees, which covers about 33 separate different department groups. For tier one, the high level public officials that are subject to the live trading, we have like 98.9% completion, which is like excellent. Overall, the aggregate is about 88%. So we really are pleased with the work that all the staff and everyone has been doing to get a high response rate, and we continue to work with various agencies. Overall, the breakdown, majority of the agencies are doing really well. There are a few agencies that are below the 75% mark, but we will continue to work with them. The top performers, a large number of them are above 95%. And, there are, for mostly the agencies, for the few that we're going to work with, they're not that bad off, 60 to 70 range. Some of them have challenges, like DOE is transitioning to a new system. So, they're kind of migrating over to a new portal for their learning management system. So we'll continue to follow up. And they are by far the largest department, like 25,000 employees. So it is a Herculean task for their HR. For DCR, they struggle. Generally, they have, I'm sure, as you've read in the news, they have other issues that challenges a lot of vacancies. So we'll continue to work with that department to increase their numbers. And for BNF and DAG, similarly as well. They all have access to a learning management system, which makes our job a lot easier in terms of coordinating and tracking. Moving on to boards. We have 852 board members. I kind of highlighted this last month. 95% of the public board members who are subject to live training are complied with the live training requirement. And for the confidential boards, we're looking at 90%. So overall, 91%. Excellent from the boards, which are all volunteer members like yourselves. And then this is a kind of a summary of generally where the boards are, and we have a large number of 100% boards. The bolded text on the right-hand side are the new boards that were since added since last month. And again, a breakdown. There are a few boards that we're going to continue working with through the end of the year. Some of them, have a board administrative turnover and staffing challenges. So we're going to reach out to them and do our best to work with those departments to increase their percentages. But overall, I think we're doing really excellent. And we've met the 85% goal. So I can just retire. But any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Oh, terrific. Really, really impressed and great job. And you took the words out of my mouth. You exceeded my 80% or our 80% goal. So we're gonna move up the needle to 90 next time.
No.
You have to have a goal, right?
Commissioner Thielen.
Commissioner Thielen.
Thank you. Great report and a great visual. My concern is about DAGs. That's the state's contracting department, among other things. And we know that in the contracting area, there have been some very questionable activities going on. So I was wondering, what is their rationale for not having a higher number of completing the educational materials about ethics?
No, I'm not sure. We reached out to them already before this meeting to kind of say hey to all the boards that we want to target. We explained the process because they have their access to the training on their site. They can monitor and know exactly who is not having taken the class. It could be very well that they have also turnover. I know in the certain departments and divisions like central services, there are a lot of vacancies, right? But it could also be that they may have moved from a different department and that information of the training completion didn't come over on their data. For our purposes, if they can show proof, they've complied. So it could be a matter of the discrepancies in their data tracking, but we've kind of encouraged them, hey, just have people show proof or take it again. Just get it out of the way, and it's 30 minutes is easy. So we'll continue to reach out to the comptroller, and I'm confident that
Could you maybe let the comptroller know that we questioned about their percentage of completion at today's meeting?
Yeah, so I'll definitely follow up. We've already reached out once, so we'll definitely continue that.
Okay.
Vice Chair Tobias, you had a question?
Yeah, no, I didn't have a question. I had a very, very great compliment on your work and getting past our 85%. I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
and I also want to add, sorry, Chair, we also are preparing kind of like recognition to the folks that hit the 800, because I think Commissioner Hong had said, hey, let's pat them on the back. So we're working on that, and we'll keep you posted on how we're going to be disseminating that. We're going to try to send it all so that the 100%ers are saying great job, because it should be commended their hard work. So
can you prepare kind of a note? Can you prepare a note or something that maybe I can sign?
Sure.
Saying congratulations, you've exceeded our expectations of ethics in the state of Hawaii. So we appreciate the fact that they take our training seriously, and hopefully will decrease more complaints. But congratulations. On page 19, I see total is 88%. So why don't we strive for 90? I mean, that's a good goal. I'll stay at 90. How's that? Okay. I mean, I won't, I'll be realistic, but 90, that's a good goal. You're close to it. 2 more points, but congratulations. Good job. But again, let's reach out to the directors and say, thank you for encouraging your people to take the training, and hopefully they'll remember it. You know what I mean? So, but any other questions or comments from the commissioners? If not, thank you very much, Benito. Moving on. Next.
Okay, so the next is the guidance and assignment statistics. For the month, we had 46 closed cases. We had 43 new cases. We continue to close cases out at a good clip, and for the year, we have more closed than open. Additionally, staff has been working very hard to migrate cases from the old version of SharePoint to the new SharePoint and make sure that cases are not falling between the cracks as the system gets turned over. So thank you to the staff for doing such a good job of managing the cases.
Okay, great. Questions from the commissioner? Questions from the public? I guess only one public. Okay, none, move on.
Yep, so miscellaneous office projects. Attached is a quarterly fiscal report. Happy to entertain any questions, but the main point is that we are slightly under budget and that everything looks good. So that's all we have for that.
Great. Any questions from the commissioners? Comments? How about the public? Okay, if not, item number 4, media reports. I think you had something.
Yeah. So we had 3 items that came up that were reported on in the media. The first was regarding the appointment of Commissioner Becker. The second is that there were several articles discussing the ALCOS matter. I think the coverage was fairly positive, and nothing really to note about that. And then finally, I did want to draw the commission's attention to an article that came out on Civil Beat this morning by Chad Blair discussing the House's discipline process and a little bit of the David Alcos matter. So I think it's worth reviewing that article and then potentially discussing that later meeting. But happy to entertain any questions about those three items, but those were the news items.
Let me actually make a recommendation to our commissioners. I just received this from Key today, and will you please read it? I was just cursory going over it. It's very interesting, and I think we'd after you read it, you have any questions or any comments for the next meeting, I think we should bring it up. That's good. Hawaii legislature really used its own process to investigate lawmakers. And, we've had some issues about lawmakers from before, big time. So read it, and you're going to bring up, we'll do it next meeting. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Moving on, item number 5, discussion on ethics oversight, the judicial branch.
So as we stated in the last meeting, the judiciary is promulgating additional rules regarding oversight of the judicial branch. We have not heard an update from the judiciary, so the same status is stated.
And let me make comment that since this is one of my initiatives, that we want to see what the judiciary is going to do. And when I talk about judiciary, I'm not talking about the staff, I'm talking about the judges, in regards to, what we want to do after they come back to us and what they plan to do. And if we should take any action. In the research that was done by our office, which I thank the staff, there are a lot of jurisdictions that basically have the judges not only be under the jurisdiction of judicial conduct rules, but also the ethic rules of the state. So we don't have that second part. We only have the first part. So stay tuned. We'll see what they come up with. Any questions from the commissioners? Okay, thank you. Next, what's next? Let's see.
It's the National Conference of the State Legislators regarding state level restrictions on high level government employees participating in political fundraising. So we had previously agreed to defer this until the next meeting. Staff is still reviewing other states' proposals suggested by Commissioner Thielen. So I anticipate that we will be able to have a more full report at the state.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Thielen, anything?
Nope.
Okay, great. All right, next, consideration of the commission's manual. Now that, why don't you go ahead through that? That's the long one.
This is Nancy.
Okay, yeah, so we put together this commission manual for your use. This is just intended as a sort of a plain language guide to our procedures and sort of an outline of the laws that we enforce. And it's just meant for your use as a quick reference guide. I want to thank Caroline for heroic work on formatting this. So if there's any questions or comments, we'd be happy to hear.
Yeah, let me start off. Thank you very much. I did read this guide cover to cover. And it's interesting because I had a couple of questions. Look on page 47. Are you on 47? The question is common types of gifts. The last, it says there are typically things like gift baskets, intangible items, et cetera, and there are three factors test. Relationship between the donor and intended recipient, understood. Value of the gift, understood. Whether acceptance of the gift serves a state purpose. What does that mean?
Sure. So sometimes it's not so much with those kind of gifts, but sometimes a gift, like a gift of travel, will serve a state purpose in that you're going to a conference and the conference is going to pay the way. And it's something that the state would normally pay for because it's an educational conference. Those type of gifts are said to serve a state purpose. Or for example, if somebody in the community donates computers to a school for use for the kids or for the faculty use for state purposes, those gifts also serve a state purpose. So that's factored into our consideration.
What if I'm a legislator and somebody gives me a $50 gift certificate to, a restaurant? How does that benefit the
It's
serve a
not,
state
we would
purpose?
say that does not serve a state purpose. That's a personal gift and it does not serve a state purpose.
If it's under $25?
Doesn't matter. It's the purpose of the gift that we're looking at. And a gift to a restaurant is generally not going to serve a state purpose.
I hope they know that.
Oh, they do. We tell them regularly. Similarly,
Okay.
gifts to entertainment, like golf gifts, gifts to a grand opening, those things generally do not serve a state purpose.
Let's say opening session of the legislature. I give my favorite legislators a box of malasadas.
Again, there's no state purpose there. That's a personal benefit. You're just giving food.
Thank you.
It's gotta serve the state purpose.
Oh, that's why I'm saying, do they know that?
Yes.
And for opening day, there are exceptions, like for lays on opening day. So there are specific things they're allowed to receive. But
Did you hear what Keith said? The acceptance, I
Yes.
give them a lay.
Yes,
That's not state
but
purpose.
he's not talking about state purpose. He's talking about general acceptance to the gift box.
for the gifts, well, yeah.
Okay, all right. As long as we know, I had a problem with that. That's all. Which means forget about my malasadas and all that good stuff to give, right? I
Those
mean,
don't serve.
the
Those do
legislators
not
don't
serve
say
a
no,
state
right?
purpose. Those do not serve a state purpose. No.
Yeah, you just saved me some money. Thank you. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Can't be the only guy.
No, I thought it was an excellent job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The last question I had was on page 47. See, some people do read this, right, Nancy? It says gift disclosures. One or more gifts valued at over $200. What does that mean? Threshold requirements?
So our gifts disclosure law requires you to disclose certain gifts that you receive, but you don't have to receive them until you reach the threshold amount of $200 from a single source. So if one person gives you a gift valued over $200 in a 1-year period, you have to disclose that. Or if one person gives you a number of gifts that valued all together exceed $200 in that 1-year period, then you have to disclose that. $200 is the threshold for disclosure, but it doesn't have anything to do with acceptance. Even if you disclose it, you still cannot accept an unacceptable gift.
So actually, correct me if I'm wrong, actually, we're at the mercy of the integrity of the legislators to report this, right?
Everybody, not just the legislators.
Besides the legislators, everybody.
Yes, it is. Right. That's right. It's a self-reporting law. That's not unusual. The lobbying law is a self-reporting law as well.
Okay, that's fine. Any other questions? I thought it was pretty comprehensive. I just had a few questions. Okay, moving right along. Good job. Let's see. What's the next on the agenda? What are we missing? Let's see. Administrative rules. Is that right?
Yes.
Administrative rules. Yeah.
So as we discussed at the last meeting, we will be bringing new chapters for proposed revisions. There's no action that is necessary from the commission at this time. We will still have to go through notice and comment. We will still have to solicit agency participation comment. At this stage, it's very preliminary, and we want to seek any input from the commissioners as to our proposed revisions. So I'll go chapter by chapter. Initially, chapter 6, we have no proposed revisions, so nothing to discuss there. In chapter 4, basically, the big highlights are confidentiality of our attorney of the day and guidance advice. So it establishes a procedure for waiving confidentiality either voluntarily or For example, involuntarily, if someone were to mischaracterize the commission's advice publicly, the rules provide for the executive director to essentially clear the record. Additionally, the proposed rules allow a written summary of advice. So the requester would be able to ask for a written summary of the commission's advice. And then finally, a major change is the possibility of self-initiated advisory opinions. So under the old rules, the commission could only issue an advisory opinion when requested. That creates an issue because if something comes up, the commission needs to be able to respond with force of law and address that matter. So at this point, the proposed rules say that the commission can self-initiate an advisory opinion and comment on something if it is a matter of public importance.
Okay. Questions from the commissioners or comments? Questions or comments from when you have somebody from the public, but she's our attorney, so I think so. Great. Okay.
So that was chapter 4.
Okay,
and then
go ahead.
Turning to chapter 5, this is the chapter in dealing with investigations, charges, and enforcement. The major proposals there are to broaden referrals to any governmental agency. So currently we can only refer to a governmental law enforcement agency. That does not allow us to refer to, federal agencies and then potentially ombudsman and other agencies. So broadening that referral out will help the commission. It sets out a procedure for default. So if someone fails to answer a charge, the commission can levy a penalty based on that failure to answer by going through procedures. Probably the biggest change is the rule regarding motion for summary judgment. So right now we just have a rule discussing motions, but motions for summary judgment allow the commission to weed out claims in advance of going to a contested case hearing. So it's a big time efficiency saver. And the rules describe how those motions are to be made and how the commission considers those motions. And then finally, we are working on penalty and settlement guidelines to set a range of factors for the commission to consider and how it levies penalties. The rule just says that the commission may promulgate guidance, but eventually the commission would be in a position where it could post public guidance as to how it factors penalties and settlements.
Why are we already using the motion for summary judgment? And we just did that for the.
So I don't think we can discuss specific cases.
Oh, okay. Sorry, thank you. But we are using it now, right?
Yeah. So this codifies that practice.
Okay. And also the fine, we already know the fine max now is 5, right? $5,000. Is that what
$5,000? Yes.
Okay.
That's the new one. It used to be 1,000.
Right. Right. Thank goodness. My initiative got put a little teeth to our enforcement. Questions or comments from the commissioners first? From our attorney? It's not.
So next month we'll come back with additional proposals.
Okay. Questions? Okay. Thanks, Pete. Oh my God. Item number 9. The never-ending Akana case. Where are we now?
So we are at the same place we were last month. No update and no decision.
All right.
A quick question. Just a quick question on that case. I'm wondering if when we're talking to the judiciary, we're talking to them about 2 or 3 other things. Is it appropriate to bring that up and just say, is there something in the making, or we just have to leave it alone and wait for them?
I think we have to leave it alone and wait for them. I think communicating with the judiciary about an ongoing proceeding in front of the Supreme Court would be improper. So, I think based on, professional responsibility rules and, avoiding the appearance of trying to influence a decision, we're better off just leaving it alone. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll Mr. Devine, I'll ditto that. Yeah. Being a practice, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. All we can do is hope and pray that that'll be finished before my tenure is over. I have to explain this to Commissioner Becker after about that kind of case. That's anyway. Yeah, any questions or comments about the kind of case? Oh my gosh. It is 9:30. Heavens, that's I don't believe we have anything else on the sunshine, do we?
We do not.
I will. You want to just keep on going, or you want to take a break, or you want to wait, go?
Maybe we adjourn this meeting and then we can jump into adjudicatory for.
Let's do. What I suggest we do is, since we have time, we don't have to wait to 10 o'clock. Is we adjourn the sunshine meeting and then jump right into the adjudicatory and see how far we get before the fire drill. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Any objections? And then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Moved by Commissioner Tobias, seconded by Commissioner Thielen to adjourn the meeting. Roll call.
Vice Chair Tobias,
Aye.
Commissioner Thiel,
aye.
Commissioner Becker. Aye. Check.
Chair votes aye, and the motion is carried. The time is now 9:33. Motion. The meeting's adjourned.